Hey everybody, Ryan here. Thanks for listening to another episode of Riftwalkers. This is the finale to our second arc, Chains of Almoran. Let's get back into it and find out what's really been happening in Meerhold. So Baldric is just outside the room where you are assembled, your little group here after your separate investigations. Baldric has expressed his intent to gather the Baron and Lady Quenberg and Arcanist Holden and a few other higher-ups, the captain of the guard, the head chef, the lead servant staff, into the main hall where you all can make an accusation or case against them and apprehend whoever you think is behind the ailment of the Baron. And Baldric is just like pacing outside the door, and he keeps peering in as you deliberate.
Yes, I legitimately have no idea. It's because like the only two people we actually investigated, other than Reese may have something else, but was the Arcanist and the lady in the tower. And so it's either lady who is also sick with same thing, probably, or dude whose poisons are too strong with Secret Alchemy Lab.
Okay, so Reese gathers the group. Honestly, from what I've heard from all of you, perhaps you know more, but I do not feel comfortable giving this man any conclusive evidence towards anyone. The only thing that I saw that even resembled someone who was unfavorable towards us were the other Americ men. As soon as I mentioned that I was anyway affiliated with the Arcanist, they pretty much attacked me on sight. They led me into a back room. So I don't know if the Americ men were under the employ of the Count or if the Arcanist is under the employ of the Count and they were there to protect him. Honestly, I feel like they could just lead to some more things. They would not talk to me.
It's possible that they are the way we need to investigate. However, they will not be among the people who are called into the hall.
Why not? They're still here. They're unloading. There was quite an amount of equipment which they were unloading.
What kind of equipment?
I'm not sure. It was in rather large boxes, and when I asked Baldric about it, he did not know anything about it. To me, that is suspicious, that Baldric, who is that close to the Baron, knows nothing of this stuff that is being unloaded before the Great Feast.
So Baldric actually comes back in, and he's like, look, okay, I'm not going to pretend I didn't hear all of that. I can assemble the servant masters, any overseers we have. I'll get the head chef, I'll get the cook, I'll get the taste testers, I'll get Lady Quenberg. I'll get Lord Commander Aurelis. Everyone.
You mustn't cause too much of a stir. I think gathering that many people in the Great Hall before a feast, they are very busy people. It will cause quite...
No, there must be a stir if the Baron's life is to be saved.
Our dear friend, we do not have enough information. If we could just talk to the Baron for a little bit, then we could get to what we need.
I agree with my friend. Speaking with the Baron directly would probably be the best option.
I will send a servant to gather everyone else, and we will speak with the Baron for a few minutes, and then to the Great Hall.
Very well.
Baldric leads the five of you out of the room, back the way you came, that he originally showed you.
As we're walking, Reese just has a quick aside with Ifran. Ifran, I think we should establish as quick as possible whether or not the Baron even remembers, or if he did indeed send correspondence with the Children of Oriel.
Yes, we must not forget their purpose in coming here. Well, we may or may not be able to help save the Baron's life. We must remember, we need to get to the two men that can give us information about Count Algier.
Okay, very well.
As you're walking along, Baldric actually dispatches a couple servants and even a few guards along the way on various tasks, and then leads you down a hallway, up a staircase, down another corridor, to the Baron's chambers, where he is being clothed and readied for the evening ahead. And the Baron looks up and says, "Oh, our friends and guests, are you here to give me some preliminary entertainment?"
Of course, Baron. But I get a little stage fright. Perhaps all these servants can leave the room. It'll just be a moment between the five of us and you.
Roll persuasion for that.
Come on, blow. Okay, that's good enough. It isn't good enough. 18.
The Baron laughs heartily, and he dismisses the servants.
Yes.
And he's like, but you, Baldric, you stay. You help me with my robes. And Baldric goes over, and he starts to go through one of the dressers and take some robes out for the Baron, who's like, no, not those ones.
And during this time, Reese walks up to him. Baron,
Please, you may call me Kincaid.
Kincaid, my friend here, he really must speak with you, and he points to Ephron.
Yes, my American friend.
Baron Hunter, your wrists.
What about them? And he's wearing these gold armbands.
May I see them, perhaps?
No, these are family heirloom. I'd prefer they don't get dirtied.
You can hold them in your hands. I just need to take a look at what is underneath the armbands.
I don't see why that's necessary. Please, I'm not feeling well. Are you here to perform or speak or what?
To be quite frank with you, Baron, I believe you are dying.
I've been very well aware of that for the last year. Thank you very much.
No, but I believe somebody is speeding the process along.
How so?
Perhaps it is poison, perhaps it is something else. But I think we all believe that there is somebody here in the castle that wishes you ill, that would rather see you removed from power sooner rather than later.
No. Inside the castle, no. Outside, yes, of course.
And as a matter of fact, do you happen to know of any reason why American men would be unloading cargo before the feast today? Not just that, but American men who are hostile towards your Arcanist.
No idea. No, I've not seen another Emir besides your friend here.
I may have been exploring the castle through your gracious hospitality, and I ran across a few men who, as soon as I mentioned the Arcanist, they attacked me.
What a strange thing and strange company you keep. I know not of this. I'm sorry. I in my advanced age and my failing health now, I have not been able to keep as good a track of everything that is going on in the castle as I would have wished or liked to many years ago.
Very well, sorry to intrude upon that, but
Yes,
I thought you ought to know.
And he readjusts his legs, and as he does so, he quickly pulls down the hem of his robe to cover his feet.
Baron, although you seem a pretty jolly old man, perhaps, it seems that you are hiding something.
And Baldric, coming over with a new set of clothes, which the Baron also declines, speaking as he goes back and forth, says, I would be remiss if I were you to make such an accusation at the Baron himself. So I plead of you, O good sir, hold your tongue.
Oh, please, I didn't mean any disrespect, Baron. We are very gracious to be here in your home and to eat together.
Oh, excuse Baldric, he's just uppity as of late. He's quite all right. You are excused.
Baron Hunter,
Yes.
do you have any idea what this could be?
What could be?
And Ifran holds up the book.
My eyes are not as good as they used to. May I see it?
Ifran steps closer and holds the book within arm's reach. And as the Baron goes to extend his arm, Ifran just grabs one of them and lifts it up and inspects his arm.
And the Baron goes, ah! And as you lift up his arm to where the armband connects on the bottom, you see between it is just like this blackened necrotic flesh. What you saw on Quenberg's fingertips, it's like 10 times that. Hers were barely graying, but still icky. His is straight up dead. And he flails back, and he actually falls over in his chair, and his robe goes up, and you see that the same thing is coming from his ankles almost to halfway up his calf. And Baldric goes, what in Vale's name? And he runs over, and he throws whatever clothes he had aside, and he tries to pick up the Baron. He's like, what is wrong with you? I thought you were here to help! You morons!
Please enlighten me. What is this damage to his flesh?
And Baldric just looks at you and says, Dear, this is what I went to the Arcanist about. This is what I told Holden about. He was supposed to take care of it. That's why he was giving him the injections.
Baldric, when did you first notice the damage to the Baron's flesh?
As soon as he became getting ill, it's actually Was immediately then. Well, no, it was actually before then that Arcanist Holden began giving him his regular medicines.
Before the sickness or before the black markings?
Well, we assume that the black markings are symptoms of said sickness, of which we know not what it is, and the medicines were supposed to help. But he had been receiving his medicine well before the black marks appeared.
Was he also sick before the medicine was administered?
Yes, quite so. Back when I was his personal attendant, I never noticed any black markings upon his skin. And the Baron is sort of now sitting in his chair again. Baldric has hefted him up, and the Baron's just like, you touch me again, and I'll have your head on a pike on the battlements.
Baron, please. I am truly sorry for the breach of etiquette. But it is very important that we get to the bottom of this as quickly as possible. If we do not, it is very likely that your life could end today.
Baldric starts helping the Baron get dressed.
Baron Huddle, what are the duties of Lady Quenberg? She is your personal attendant, yes?
Yes, she relieved Baldric of that post. Too tight, son! And he kind of whacks Baldric a little bit, who's tightening some parts on his tunic. She helps me with literature and writing and, a bit here and there. And in fact, do you have the book on you, on your person, in any visible way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I was holding it up in front of him before I...
So you probably dropped it or
Right.
something and then picked it back up.
In fact, and he points at the book that you're still holding, that's why I was so interested in that. That's Quenberg's book, is it not? She sometimes reads fairy tales from it, things from my childhood. Go to... I can't quite remember what page. Go to the one about the rabbit and the falcon. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. If you do, will indulge me in a quick story before we go down to the... You said Grand Hall, Baldric? Yes, I've assembled everyone there. Right, whatever bloody purpose.
Okay. If Frank quickly flips through the book to find the story of the falcon and the
But
rabbit...
he can't read it, can he?
You frown right.
It is no language you've ever laid eyes upon. It is not even written conventionally. It's pictograms and strange symbols and weird things. And even the longer you stare at it, you feel a little queasy.
Wow. Even being dead to magic. Oh, this is no joke. Okay, Ifran shuts the book and says,
Will you not indulge me?
I am sorry, I could not find the story.
But if you would like, and Risu had been kind of eyeing Ifran as he was looking through the book, because he was actually quite curious if there was actually a story in there, notices that he's starting to get a little sickly, maybe a little pale. He's like, but Baron, I assure you, perhaps on our way out, my friend Mick and I can play you a little ditty that we've worked on.
Yes, please. As Baldric then, ties up the last bit on the Baron's doublet and fastens a cape around his neck. You can do it as we go down to the hall, if you don't mind.
Very well.
Good. And Baldric, you said you've assembled who again? Everyone, my lord. What damn bloody for? Right, carry on. And the Baron takes Baldric by the arm, and the two leave the room, with you all trailing behind.
Yes. Quick question. Brett, what kind of instrument does Reese play?
A pan flute.
That's exactly what I was imagining. I was imagining Mick there. He's just like...
So
Reese just...
Reese's mask is actually specially made to give him the perfect airflow through his mouth hole into the pan flute.
That was very
It's
well
good
thought
acoustics.
A resounding sound, yeah.
Oh, I mean, perhaps we'll play that one about the Baron dying at the end. That lovely little...
No.
Okay, great.
out.
But perhaps we should talk about this, or no?
As things are going on, I look to Mick and ask for a Lycal.
Oh, yes, very well. Here is one.
And I actually take it and I drink it, and then I cast Lesser Restoration on the Baron.
Okay, what does that spell do?
You touch a creature and either one disease or one condition afflicting it can end. Lyrian, he goes up to the Baron, he rests his hand on his shoulder. This may help you a bit. And then he says a few words in Elvish and casts Lesser Restoration.
And the Baron screams out in pain, and falls to his knees a little bit, and Baldric tries to steady him, and you see that his lips turn black, and there's these spreading darkness around his mouth.
I just gotta wait until the feast.
The bits on his wrists under his hands intensify, and he falls and goes, "Ah!" And he basically passes out.
And Reese just playing his pipe flute is just like, stop. He's like holding it in front of his mouth, just
Play a little ditty, intensifies it.
As the Baron kind of keels over, and his long gray hair kind of parts from behind his neck, you see a series of 5 punctures on the back of his neck that look infected.
Infected in the same way as like turning black and necrotic, or this like kind of reddened,
like red and
pus filled.
Yes.
And
What have you done?
Yes, that was supposed to help him.
Lyrian, what did you do?
Ifron, if I may, and I bring Ifron to the side. What could we get in contact with Quenberg by chance?
Perhaps. She should be in the Great Hall.
Yes, they're all in the Great Hall where we are going to find out who is going to kill their...
Well, it might be us.
Yes. But that is most curious. Lyrian, I completely believe you were not intending to do this.
I don't. What have you done to him, the poor man? And the Baron, you see this encroaching darkness in his face and his skin kind of receding, and his lips regain their color, and his face gets flushed, and he stands with Baldric's help, and he goes, "Wherever are we?"
Reese continues playing his pan flute.
how much does it kind of go away, the darkness? Like if it was at like 3 earlier with just the wrists and the calves,
It went up to
Area.
like
it went up to like 8 and then
and
dropped
now it's
down.
back to 3.
Oh, back completely.
Okay.
Okay.
Temporary.
Okay.
As if something were resisting.
Yeah.
His
As
spell.
if something was like actively fighting back against it.
Yes, I would very much like to talk to Quenberg, whatever her name is.
Well, they're all in the bloody main hall waiting for us.
Yes. Oh, you've mentioned.
Reese is still playing.
I know he is, and it's so stupid. I love it. Please, Master Lyrian, explain yourself. Calm my mind.
Well, I know a little bit of things to do with essence, and this kind of essence was supposed to help the Baron and the disease that is afflicting him. And it seems that there is something fighting against what I was trying to do.
Very well,
Reese stops playing, puts his hand on Baldric's shoulder. I assure you, our friend here had no ill intent.
I will trust you for now, but when we reach the Grand Hall, someone will be put to death for this. I swear it.
Luca, he goes to Baldric and he says, "How long have those wounds on his neck been like that?"
That's just where Arcanist Holden gives him his injections. He assures me it's perfectly normal. But, again, I have not been in the Baron's vicinity for quite some time. This is the first time I've seen them in such a state. Like I said, I was relieved of my position some time ago by Lady Quenberg.
Have you seen Quenberg administer anything to him?
I have never been in the presence of just her and the Baron, and no.
Luca, kind of behind him, turns to Ifron. He's kind of our go-to guy in this group. He says, "If the Arcanist truly believes that is normal, he knows nothing about what he is doing. It appears that his ailment is magical by nature. I believe it might be coming from that book. Is it possible that is in fact an incantation, and that she merely recites a story along with it to create this?"
Perhaps. However, I would be hesitant to think that it was Lady Quenberg. She knows that I have the book, yet she did not try at all to stop me. She was aware that it was in my possession, but she did not become hostile. She only withdrew into herself and left.
Do you think it is possible that that is in fact the cure, and the real problem is the injections?
I think it is possible that perhaps she is meddling with powers greater than she knows. Perhaps the book is also spreading to her.
Well, and Reese, who's been following behind as they're about to go through the doorway, I think we need to really decide between the two of them. Either the Arcanist is poisoning and she's trying to cure it, or unknowingly inflicting it and the Arcanist is actually trying to help. One of them is good, one of them is bad. Perhaps they're both bad. I don't know.
And how do the American factor in? They were just hostile, and now they're unloading cargo.
Who knows what? No one knows what it is. And he taps Baldric on the shoulder. Are the American there?
I asked for them, but I have no guarantees. And then he steps with the Baron into the main hall and leads the Baron to the throne.
Reese kind of looks back behind him and steps through as well.
Okay. Meek, I would like you to watch Holden as close as possible. Reese, please watch Lady Quinberg.
And as Reese is kind of halfway through the door, he nods his head and continues on in.
All right, so Baldric helps the Baron down on his throne. Again, there are guards lining along the pillars. There are even more guards, however, and guards blocking the door at the far end. And then he motions for the 5 of you to assemble alongside him in front of the Baron on the dais.
Just so I'm clear, is the dais like a raised platform?
Yes.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
about to ask you.
I'm actually pretty sure that's the exact definition.
Do you do so?
Yes.
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 Okay, so you see, first and foremost, you can see Arcanist Holden wearing his mask, and then Lady Quenberg, a few individuals away from him, her arms folded in front of her. And then there are lots of other people. Reese recognizes the large man from the kitchen with the cleaver. However, he's in sort of an ill-fitting doublet now. And there are lots of other people ranging from, it looks like, guardsmen to servants. And Aurelis is noticeably not present. And Baldric looks around and says, "Where's the Lord Commander?" And one of the guardsmen steps forward and is like, "Unfortunately, sir, he was assaulted on his way into the city. Through Whitebridge he entered, and he was beset upon by some beggar folk who did overcome him. We recovered his body not long before."
Now wait a second. We entered with the Lord Commander through South Gate, and we were with him right up until the hold.
Quenberg speaks up, and she's like, "You have done your duty. Thank you, guardsman Eric." And that guardsman that stepped forward takes a few steps back and nods his head. And Quenberg just looks up at Reese and she says, "So you were with the Lord Commander then at the time of his death?"
No, we were with him up until we got to the breaking point. We continued on to the hold. He mentioned that he had some other business to attend to, and we left him.
Well, Whitebridge is a dangerous neighborhood for those who travel alone.
We were never in Whitebridge. He went the complete opposite direction of Whitebridge. He went north, and we were with him up until the hold.
We have no evidence to the contrary of what we've been presented by our guardsmen here.
And Reese pointing to the other people, "I give you 4 witnesses here and myself who will all testify to the contrary."
And she just shrugs and looks up at Baldric. "Why have you called us here together then?" And Baldric points behind him at the Baron and he says, "One of you has betrayed our good lord, the man who has given you hospitality since your childhood days, the man who has given you shelter and food and served you honorably. And so you should have served him. And yet one of you has conspired to kill our good Baron, even this night at his very celebratory feast."
Efran leans over to Lyrian and he whispers this. "Lyrian, watch Baldric, please. And Luca, watch the chef."
Luca nods.
"These individuals here," Baldric continues, "have compiled evidence against an individual, and they will now present it for that individual to be executed on the Baron's orders."
Baron, I didn't say any of that.
Pretty sure that's just all you, Baldric.
The Baron looks barely conscious, honestly.
Okay.
It was the Baron.
So as he says that and comes to a conclusion, Reese, who's standing next to Efron, just says, "Do some questioning. We will watch out."
And so, making sure that everybody is watching who they're supposed to be watching, Efran steps forward. He reaches behind his back and pulls out a thick purple book. And he holds it. He says, "All of you here, do you know what this is?"
No one says anything.
And just so it's known, as he pulls out the book, Reese realizes he's probably supposed to be watching Quenberg, and so he's paying extra special attention to her reactions.
Roll an insight check.
18.
She does give a little twitch.
He notes that.
Lady Quenberg, perhaps you could enlighten us to the purposes of this book.
It is an old storybook and nothing more.
An old storybook, yet it is written in a language more ancient than any of us could reasonably understand.
Truly, is it?
It is.
May I see it then?
I will open it for you.
Be my guest.
And he opens it up,
And right in the middle, you see a little depiction of a falcon on a log, and there's a little rabbit sticking its head out of it. And there's a little chapter title, and it says, The Falcon and the Hare. And then it goes into a little nursery rhyme.
Very interesting.
Holden is like, are you really bothering us with such drivel? What is this now? Storybooks?
Do I say anything with
Roll insight.
That's going to be 19.
He's honestly confused. Like he's like, what's with this?
Lyrian, were you watching the chef?
Lyrian was
Luca
watching.
was watching the chef.
Luca,
yes.
Lyrian was watching Baldric. Luca, were you watching the chef?
Yes.
Did he react to the purple book?
Roll insight.
14.
No noticeable reactions.
I'm assuming I'm going to do one for Baldric.
Yeah, you can. Go for it.
13.
Baldric looks just as shocked that it wasn't what it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Ephron, wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
No. This is just like a reactionary thing.
Okay, 24.
You notice a slight glimmer on the page.
A slight glimmer.
And the Arcanist kind of cocks his head as he notices as well. And he says, give that book here, boy.
By all means. Please, Arcanist.
And Quenberg actually steps forward and is like, it is my book. I will take it back. It was stolen from my chambers by this man precisely.
Reese attempts to position himself between Quenberg and the book. He kind of shoulders his way in there.
He does so.
Let the man examine the book.
Yes. And he hands it to Holden.
And Holden takes the book in his hands, flips over a few pages, and kind of just stares silently at it for a few minutes. One page in particular.
As he's staring, Reese is just staring right at Quenberg to see what she's doing.
Quenberg doesn't flinch. And then Holden closes the book and he says, it seems it is a mere storybook.
I want to know if Holden reacted to this or if it seemed that he was
As he was
casting
looking at
any
it?
kind of arcana.
Yeah,
you
as he
know.
was looking at the book.
Yes.
Okay.
That is going to be a 16.
So you saw what could only be like a sudden realization come across his face and then quickly hidden. And then as he leafed through the book and then just stared at one page, it almost looked like fear. And then he composed himself and he handed the book back to Ifron.
The plot thickens.
I mean, I guess. I have no idea.
It seems like they're in cahoots with something, but he doesn't realize to what extent. Like maybe he's covering it up because he didn't recognize the book until he actually looked and he's like, oh, this is some deep crap. You know what I mean?
And then
So-
you actually see him kind of reach for his satchel and kind of pat it. And then his hand like clenches up as he maybe realizes that something isn't there.
Oh, did he never pick it up? That's weird.
I guess he never saw
Guess
it.
I never saw it.
And as Holden does this, he looks directly at Luca and narrows his eyes.
Luca addresses Holden and then asks a couple of questions. Having studied a fair amount of the human body, as is kind of his bit, he says, Arcanist, I have a question for you. Speaking with the Baron and with the Baldric here, we've learned that you've been giving the Baron injections to treat his ailment.
Yes, the varying medicines. And his eyes kind of flit over to Quenberg for a second and then back to you.
Could you tell me why you have allowed the injection points to be infected in the way that they are?
It is simply a symptom of the remedy itself. It passes with time. He was given those injections just over the past 5 days. It will last for another week, and then it will fade until his next month's supply.
Can I do an insight roll to see if he's telling the truth?
Yes.
6. Never mind. Not knowing whether or not he's telling the truth. Luca, it's merely a side effect. Sir, any medicine that you would place into this man's body to help him should not cause this effect, particularly among 5
Unless
different
you are
injections.
making an accusation here, I would see that I have myself excused from these proceedings immediately. He's quite obviously irate. And he keeps glancing over at Quenberg and then Baldric and then you 5.
Is Quenberg also looking like at him and at people, or
She is just staring directly at Baldric.
Yeah. What's Baldric's reaction?
Yeah, Lyrian.
Same as before. He just looks surprised and eager to have this over with. And Baldric says, "No, you may not be excused." And Holden kind of looks up at Baldric, and he's with almost like a fire in his eyes. And he says, "You will allow me to leave immediately, or I will do so of my own accord. I will not be accused of some dastardly thing here, and I'll have no part of it in this sham."
Is he wearing gloves?
No.
I quickly speak up as he's about to leave. Master Arcanist, we do not wish to keep you beyond your intentions, but I do have a simple question for you.
"I will not hear any questions." And Quenberg actually speaks, and she says, "The only place you'll be walking to, Arcanist, is the gallows if you do not hold your tongue and your feet in this very room."
I'm assuming there's a bit of a silence in the room after that.
Yes.
And Reese just asks, "Do you have many enemies, Arcanist?"
"I guarantee you I've made 5 today."
Well, I can guarantee you there are at least 2 who want to kill you that are not among us.
What are you speaking of?
And Reese just kind of shrugs his shoulders and walks back.
And Baldric looks over and he's like, "This has gone on long enough." And he turns to Ifron. "Say your piece."
One final question. Lady Quenberg, when did you acquire this book?
"I've had it with me all my life. My mother gave it to me."
Your mother. And your mother, she was also the Baron's assistant?
"She served the Baron's father."
Lady Quenberg, might we see your hands?
"You may not, no. That would be improper for a lady of my standing."
Yes. Also very convenient that you wear gloves all the time to
It
cover
is,
your affliction.
"I have no affliction."
You do not have the same affliction that the Baron has.
"I do not. I am in perfect health. I'm the picture of health."
The picture of health, yes.
I believe with the stakes on the line, the removal of gloves is within the question.
"If you seek to accuse me of something, then you may hang my corpse and you can take them from me."
That may happen. Unfortunately, Lady Quenberg, I feel you have been acting most suspicious.
The other servants and guards and staff kind of gathered in the room, begin to mumble amongst themselves, and Baldric's like, please, just a moment longer." And he turns to Ifron. "Now or never?"
Lady Quenberg, if you will not show us your hands, if you keep acting in such a secretive manner, if you will not divulge to me the true purpose of this book, for you and I both know that you are lying, then I have no choice but to accuse you of trying to murder the Baron.
That's pretty
Everybody watch their guy.
Mine got 26.
Who are
baby.
you watching?
Holden.
So Quenberg kind of like twitches, and she says, "If you need me, I will be in my study." And she storms out, and no one tries to stop her, of the Baron's men at least.
What about us?
Holden looks relieved. And the other people, the cook, the guards, Baldric, look a mixture of confused and sad.
I think it's Holden. I don't think it was Lady Quenberg.
I think Lady Quinn is sucking out the bad stuff, guys.
I think she's putting it into herself. That's why she's getting it. But I
So
think
she's gone.
Holden
She's left the
is.
room.
She went up to her study, yes.
Okay.
Very well. Baldric, I believe Holden is the one we are seeking.
Then why did you... Oh, everyone has started to leave at this point. Oh, Holden included.
Stop right there. And I run after Holden because I'm really quick and I did this before this even happened.
and Baldric looks over at Ephraim and is like, "Then why did you accuse Lady Quenberg?"
It was a trap to draw out the real killer. I do not think it was Lady Quenberg. You see, she did not try to stop me. She knew I had the book.
And during this, Reese is helping Mick try to go and stop / apprehend / something. The
So
archivist.
Mick and Reese, strength checks, please.
Oh my darn it.
You got
Well, I feel like at
Remember
this
how
point,
I did level up on that?
Lyrian's also like in front of him. So
Okay. And Lyrian clears the way for them.
Blessings are a high 18.
what's your strength?
0.
22.
All right, so you two grab either side of Holden and pull him back toward the middle of the room. It's like, "Oh, what the Vale's name are you doing? I am not... You have your man.
Yes, we do.
You damn bloody fools. She's killing him, don't you see it?"
I do not believe it is so, Holden. I believe she is trying to cure him by taking his affliction upon herself.
You.
Perhaps you would like to divulge to me the true purpose of this book. I know you know what it is.
I will not say a word about that accursed object.
Ah, so you agree it is accursed. So it is more than just a storybook.
So he rips his mask from his face, actually, and he spits at you.
And then as he does that, because we're kind of holding him, we just grab even tighter.
Yeah, and I also grab his mask from his hand because I want to inspect it or ask, what's his name?
Baldric.
Baldric. I want Baldric to inspect it.
So Reese speaks to Ifron. Do you have any more questions for this man, or can we be done with it?
I am done with him.
And then Reese...
What am I even being accused of? What's my crime, huh?
And-
What have I been doing? Tell me, please, enlighten me.
Reese ignores
You
that
Cretans.
and turns to Baldric. May I carry it out?
Whoa, no trial, straight up execution.
No trial. He doesn't even know what he's being accused of. I mean, he probably knows in his heart of hearts, but...
Yes, you may, but tell me, how did he do it?
Reese turns towards Luca. You spoke with him earlier. What do you have?
And Baldric actually steps forward and he hands Luca the papers that he'd given him, which he
Upon-
identified were poison recipes.
Yes.
Upon my inspection of the Arcanist's library, I found not only these recipes for poison, something that should have killed the Baron long ago, but may have been prevented from doing such a thing by the powers of another, but also a secret laboratory where the Arcanist appeared to indulge in a personal interest in alchemy. And while I personally do not know the contents nor the exact purpose of such alchemy, from these recipes and from the secretive nature, I believe that we can understand this is how the Arcanist, via the injectors, causing this distress in the Baron, sought to cause his death.
My fellow friend, you are as blind as you are stupid.
Reese elbows him in the face.
And if you're so
Like
innocent,
Judge
then
Dredd.
empty your pockets. I don't know. I've always wanted to tell somebody that.
What the devil? What the...
Then what are the purposes of the runes on your syringe?
I guess it's out then. The reason you are as stupid as you are is that the Baron should have been dead 2 years ago when I first administered this to him.
Yes, but he did not die. For his lovely assistant, the Lady Quinberg. She was taking some of the affliction upon herself.
You
For the
are
use of
even
the-
stupider. I am a master of imbuement. The tools I use cannot be tampered with a mere human's intent. This poison was specifically designed to resist any healing magics.
Yes, we have figured that for ourselves. And Reese motions to Lyrian, Ifron, and, well, I guess Mick is already holding an arm, but he gets Lyrian and Ifron to kind of come over and hold him, and he's going to stand back, and he pulls the sword off of his face.
As Lyrian is taking over for Reese, holding Holden, he mentions to Reese, might you take out the item that we received from the creature in the cavern?
As Reese is reaching to his face to draw his sword, he pauses for a moment, knowingly shakes his head, and reaches into the satchel and pulls out the dagger.
Where is Ephron standing? I just want to know in relation to Reese.
Decently close.
So as you take it out
Reese.
and you kind of pass it over, just like nonchalantly, like removing it from your belt, and
Uh-huh.
it passes by Holden, it shivers a little bit. And as it rests at your side and Ephron passes you by, it almost shakes violently.
I was the one who poisoned him.
Are you serious?
No, it's the book.
It's a
book.
I see.
But I don't know what the bone dagger does, so if Ron didn't tell you that.
So Reese notices this, but he sees that Lyrian's holding, Mick is holding, and Ifron is behind him to prevent him from running. And he just turns over to Baldric. Anything else you need to say?
I don't know. And he just turns around.
Good enough for me. And you three, Mick, Ifron, and Lyrian, hear Reese mutter under his breath, "Fight the greater evil. No mercy for the wicked. By any means necessary." And he stabs him right in the gut.
You move to stab him, and As you're moving toward him with the dagger, Holden kind of smiles and he whispers, "Home." And then he disappears.
What
Yeah.
the blazes just happened? And Reese just kind of flails around a bit. Should have expected something like this. And he sees Ephron. Ephron, something else. Come here. And he didn't quite put it together that it was a book.
Mhm.
And he feels the bone dagger starting to vibrate. And he kind of brings it closer to him. And he notices the closer that he gets to the book, I'm assuming it's the book.
Yes.
As he brings the dagger closer to the book, it begins doing that shaking again quite violently.
Yes.
Ephron, drop the book.
He does so.
And then he just kind of glances over at the others, and he raises it over his head, and he stabs the book with the dagger.
And the dagger shatters.
I'm going to add into canon here that Luca falls to the ground writhing in pain.
That happens. And you hear sort of like this ethereal scream, like, as the dagger shatters. And this black mist like floats up from it and then darts down the hallway.
Down the hallway.
Yes.
Is this the same hallway What's-Her-Face went down?
Yes.
Oh,
Follow
yeah.
the mist and grab the book. Luca's busy.
Yes. Ephron scoops up the book and zoom after the mist.
And I follow as Mick.
Is anyone helping?
Reese turns toward Luca, and he's over him. Luca, what is the matter?
You know, he's crawling on the ground. He rips off his hat. You can see the scar on his forehead, if anyone had looked at the dagger, which is probably really only Reese and Lyrian who really saw it. You notice that the scar that is exactly the same is burning in his forehead. And as he's screaming and scratching at this scar, you see as one of his ribs, the opposite side from where the last one came out, begins to pull out of his skin, ripping forward as another dagger, which just lands on top of him as he collapses unconscious.
Reese is just mortified at this. He's like, by the gods, man, what is going on? And he's trying to restrain his arms, trying to keep himself from like scratching his head off. But as he's doing that, then, you know, this other rib just comes on out of him and then forms a dagger.
Lyrian actually goes over to Luca, seeing that he's in pain, and he knows that some kind of field medicine kind of dealio, tries to see if there's anything he can do to help, wake him up since he's now unconscious.
As you're kind of like racking your brain for remedies, you're a bit distracted by sobbing behind you.
I look and see you sobbing.
It's Baldric actually at the feet of the Baron, who is just slumped over in his throne, his eyes glassy and distant.
As Lyrian notices this, he just looks to Reese and he's like, I believe that the book may have been keeping him alive, and now that that evil spirit has fled, the Baron is dead.
Meanwhile, in the tallest tower of Meerhold Keep are Ephron and Mick, going to find the Lady Quenberg.
Okay, so Ephron and I assume Mick as well. They're both running pretty quick up these stairs, and they get to the top to Quenberg's study.
You make it in good time and actually find the door wide open. Quenberg, meanwhile, is in the middle of her study, hunched over a trunk, frantically packing her things inside, and she looks right at you as you enter the doorway.
And then I say, leaving the party so soon, huh?
She glares at you with an intense gaze, which then goes toward Ephron's hand, holding the book. She stretches out her palm, and then in a second later, it flies from your hand and into hers. She packs it in the trunk, closes it, and simply stands with a sly smile and says a quick, "Thank you kindly."
Where do you think you're going? You're not going anywhere.
I beg to differ. In fact, I mean to leave this castle immediately, and never return. And she starts strolling towards you rather calmly, uncannily so, even.
Ephron steps in her way, and he just looks at her straight in the eyes, and he says, "And where might you be going?"
That is quite frankly none of your business, and impolite to ask a lady such things. Now, move aside.
I would have said that it is also impolite to murder a baron.
Move aside, or I will make you. So, in an instant, she pushes her trunk aside. As it falls to the floor, her other hand comes up in a vicious hook, aiming right for your head, Ephron, and misses, and you're able to catch it.
Okay, I catch her hand.
Yes, her fist.
So after Ephron intercepts the hook coming right for his face, he says, "Now that just will not do, Lady Quenberg." And he gives her a big old palm strike right to the sternum in an attempt to push her back. That is a 23 to attack, dealing 7 damage and pushing her back 10 feet.
All right, so she goes flying back into the study and kind of rolls onto the ground and comes to a stop, smacking her head pretty hard against the stone floor. She starts to stand up then, wipes her bloody nose, and then turns around to face you, another trickle of blood flowing down into her mouth. And she opens her mouth in a wide grin. The blood streaming from her nose as black as pitch. And in a low, deep voice, she just says, "Fools.